Hello and welcome to another video. A while ago I did a video all about my yellow books. Yellow is one of my favourite colours, green is my second favourite colour, so naturally you would think I would go towards recommending you my green books. That would make sense. I don't have many green books, so it wouldn't be like the longest video to film because right now I don't have too long to film this, so that would make sense. So I'm going to recommend you all my pink books instead, which I thought was not many. It's a lot. There is a lot around me right now. I'm not going to give you in-depth detailed descriptions of each one of these books because it would just take too long and the video would be mega long and probably not too engaging. So I'm just going to give you kind of quick-ish summaries slash what I think they're about, because a lot of these I've read and a lot of them I haven't. I'm just surveying the piles. We're just going to dive in because there's a lot here. Some of them just have a pink spine, some of them have a pink cover. Sometimes the word pink has been used liberally here. So let's go into the many pink books around me. The first two books are from my Feminist non-fiction shelf. So we've got The Vagina Monologues by Eve Ensler. This is a collaboration effort with lots of different people that have been interviewed on their stories to empower the word vagina and sharing their experiences with Eve Ensler, who has collaborated it into this book. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. This one is more of a body positivity themed book. Well, this one is as well, but they're both body positivity feminist themed books. This is Gross Anatomy, My Curious Relationship with the Female Body by Mara Altman. I actually only got this one last weekend at the time of filming this, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but it looks at all different parts of the body and really helps to empower and give body positivity messages throughout this book. It looks really good and apparently it's quite funny too. Along with the feminist theme, I've also got an arc of Moxie by Jennifer Matthew, or maybe pronounced slightly differently. This I watched the film for recently, which I assume is inspired by this book, and I absolutely loved it. It's a feminist YA story about girls at school kind of starting a feminist revolution within their school. The film was so good. I absolutely adored the way it flipped things around, and this book I am now really wanting to read because I've had it for a while. I think I got Yalk maybe? When's the date? I don't know. And I don't know why I never got around to it, so I really want to read this one. Then another new one to my shelf, and this one has lots of different colours, but there's pink right at the top there, is A Woman Is No Man by Etaf Rum. This, again, potentially might sit under another feminist story, I think. This is set between two different times and two different locations, Palestine in 1990 and Brooklyn in 2008, and it features a story between a mother and a daughter and their relationship and how their lives are different and how they've taken different paths and what paths they will continue to take. This looks so good. I'm really wanting to pick this one up soon. I couldn't not mention Heartstopper, which does consist of a pink spine and a little bit of pink on the cover. I'm so excited for the Netflix adaptation of this. I'm also scared because it's always a big moment when something gets adapted that everyone loves, but this is the first in the Heartstopper series of graphic novels. I adore these series so much. It's about Nick and Charlie and their romance together, and I absolutely love it. It's about so much more than that as well, but I love them. Next up, we've got The Henors by Adiba Jagadar. This is completely pink, the definition of pink. This is kind of forbidden romancy. It's two girls working together, or working against each other at this entrepreneurial competition at their school, and they spark a romance, but there's a problem because our main character, her parents refuse to let her be in a relationship with a girl. So this is kind of forbidden romance, but I haven't read this one yet. I really want to get to it soon. Dolly Alderton's Ghosts is next. Pink spine, pink kind of themes here. This is one about a woman entering into her 30s, or in her mid to late 30s. She's in her 30s. I don't know where in her 30s. And all of her friends are kind of married and having kids and stuff, and she isn't at that point yet, and this is her story. I really want to read this one soon because I'm not in my 30s, but I am in that stage where all of my friends that live near me are getting married and having kids, and I'm just like, hello! So I do want to read this one because I think I would probably empathise with the character. Then we've got Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bashardoost. This one I know very little about, apart from the fact that I think it's about an internal struggle between a girl being a princess or a monster. I really don't know too much about this, but this cover is beautiful, and those spray pages. It's like the same colours as this, but in reverse. This was the Fairy Loot edition, I want to say, and I love it. I do need to, there's so many of these books I need to read, but this is one I haven't read yet, and again, don't know a massive amount about. The next one is a super easy one because you've seen it a lot before, but it is indeed pink. This is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. It is my favourite of the A Court of Thorns and Roses books. This is the third one. I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but they're loosely starting off as Beauty and the Beast retellings. There's fae, there's a lot of sex. Well, is there a lot of sex? There's sex. There's a lot of sex in A Court of Silver Flames, which is the fourth book in the series following Nesta, but this one is my favourite personally. Then we have Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I read 50 pages or so of this. Is my bookmark still in it? Yes, it is. There, I read up to 54 pages and I got bored. I'm gonna actually take that bookmark out because that's a cool bookmark. Look at that. That's a fiction tea bookmark. That is cool. Okay, right, yeah, sorry, I got bored. This is enemies to lovers, I think. There's a prince and a president's son or something like that. I don't know why everyone said it was hilarious and I was like not really feeling it. I haven't DNF'd it, I just kind of stopped. So I may pick this up again, but for me it just wasn't really resonating. I don't know if I'm just kind of not really into that storyline, but I had high hopes and did not have them realised. Next up is the third book in the Pages & Co series. This is Tilly and the Map of Stories by Anna James. I love this series. It's middle grade, about a girl who can jump into the pages of books, and I adore it. What is better than being able to jump into the pages of books? This is book 3, so again, I'm not going to tell you what this one's about, but the first one is just fantastic. I love them so much. Tilly is just a brilliant character and her grandparents own the coziest bookshop that I am desperate to visit, so it's pink, it's going on the list. Next up we've got Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. This I think is about a woman who is kind of entering into having to do a lot of adulting and is very overwhelmed. She's just finished a PhD. She's kind of escaping to get away from things and figure out who she is, where her life's going. I feel like this one's going to be really, really good. I only got this one recently. This one was very kindly sent to me, but I really hope to get to this one soon. Naturally, my camera battery is flashing, so if the camera angle changes, hang on a sec. I had a full battery in this when I started filming, but hey ho. Okay, I am really running out of time. I need to leave. I've got my family coming over, they're within my bubble, and I need to leave to go and do a food shop before they get here, and they're getting here in 45 minutes. Oops. Ah well, next up we've got Meet Cute Club by Jack Harburn. This is kind of an enemies to lovers, but they really are only enemies for like 30 pages. It's kind of a smutty, sex positive filled book. It's about two guys who, one works in a bookshop and one runs a book club, and they meet and end up having a romance. It's a fleeting short book, very, very short, but yeah, it was good if you want to read something that's very sex positive and very sex focused. It was fun for that purpose. Next up we have got Wicked Fox or Gumiho. I'm not sure if that's meant to be the name of the book or the series, I'm unsure. This is by Kat Cho and this is about a girl who can turn into a nine-tailed fox. I know very little about it other than that. I think this is meant to be like a written version of anime. I don't know, I haven't read this one yet, and I think this is one I'm gonna have to be in a very specific type of mood to read. I don't have any of the books like this, but now I'm looking at it and now I've looked at the blurb, I do want to get to this. I just feel like I'm worried that I'm not gonna like it because I know a lot of people love this. See, this is again what happens to me. I get scared of the hype. This is my beautiful copy of The Brothers Grimm. I got this for myself when I graduated university as a graduation gift. It's stunning. I think this is the Penguin cloth-bound edition. I have no idea, but it is absolutely stunning and I love it. It's a collection of fairy tales. That one was easy to describe. Then we have got Frankly in Love by David Yoon, who is Nicola Yoon's husband, if you recognise the last name. Nicola Yoon is the author of The Sun Is Also a Star, which is a fantastic book. This follows Frank, who is frankly in love, but he has a bit of an issue because his parents say that he can only fall in love with a Korean girl, and naturally this story is about him not doing that and falling in love with somebody else in his class called Brit. I read this one when it came out because I was working on the promotion. I haven't read it since then and that was like a year or two ago. I can't remember too much of it, but I do remember I think it made me cry. So yeah, pink spine, pink font, it's pink. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Oh my god, I loved this when I read it. I can't remember much about it at all, apart from the fact that it's like a French boarding school that Anna's gone to, and I just remember really enjoying it. There's a romance in it. It's pink, it's on the list. Love List by Alice Osman. This is set at university. I love books set at university. This is, Alice Osman's books are set in England. I think generally, I haven't read a few of them, but I think the ones I have read are also in England, which I love because there's just so much in there that I can spot that I know about. This follows a main character who basically is going into university, not having experienced love and wondering why she's not experienced love. Then she discovers the LGBT community and discovers words like asexual and aromantic and realises that these are words that she might identify with, and it's her journey. I loved this. It was amazing and I felt very safe reading it, if that makes sense. It was really, really good. Then we've got Oh My Gods by Alexandra Shepherd, which has a bright pink spine. I love this book. It's a middle grade Greek mythology, modern day retelling kind of thing with a middle grade student who is basically living in a home that's kind of got the Greek gods coming in and out of it in London. I loved it. It's fun. Yeah, if you're into Greek mythology retellings, definitely check this one out. Then we have Solitaire by Alice Osman, which is within the Nick and Charlie universe, and I haven't read this one yet, but I really, really want to. This is about Tori and her journey. She is the sibling of Charlie, so we get to see her life within this book. Did this come first? I don't know, but I love Alice Osman's writing, so I do really want to read this one. Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. This is a very short book about a woman who has worked in a convenience store her whole life, and it questions society and the expectations and what we have to and not wanting to achieve. This is very interesting. The blurbs call it hilarious and quirky. I think that really mismarkets this book because it isn't at all. It's fantastic, but it is not hilarious and quirky, and I think that kind of takes away from the message this is trying to portray. This is also translated from Japanese, so you're going to be reading about a different culture here, which I think is always brilliant to just expand what we're reading about, and I absolutely loved it. Then we've got All the Bad Apples by Moira Fowley Doyle. I loved The Spellbook of the Lost and Found by this author, and I was very excited to read this, and yet I still haven't read it, which is surprising me because this also looks like it might have a feminist undertone to it, because it's described on the back as a powerfully haunting and unforgettable story about women finding their voices. It sounds really good. I don't know why I've not read it. It's pink. The Black Flamingo by Dean Asher. I loved this so much. This is a poetry fiction that follows a main character from being a child to being a young adult at university, his experiences growing up in London as a mixed race teen, and how he kind of adapts as he goes into university, as he grows into his sexuality and understands who he is and joins societies and becomes a part of a real culture that he feels like he is accepted within, and I absolutely loved it. Read it last year. I could easily reread it. It was just fantastic. Then we have got a Judy Blume book, Are You There, God It's Me, Margaret. I read this one when I was a kid. I can't really remember much about it, other than the fact that it's about Margaret, who is a bit misguided and doesn't really know who she can talk to, so she just asks God things, I think. I don't know. I'm not a religious person, so I don't know whether reading this now I would find it a bit of a different experience. Like, not that I was religious when I was a child, but they're kind of coming of age books, Judy Blume books. I honestly can't remember much about this. It's very short, but it's very pink. And finally, the last book on my recommendations list is Jenny Hand's To All the Boys I've Loved Before. This is the first book in the Lara Jean series, and it is about Lara Jean, who accidentally sends out some letters to all the boys she's loved, love letters that she wrote them at the time that she loved them, and there's a bit of an issue there because she kind of didn't want them to get out, and it's about what happens after that. This is a 3-book series, and I loved it. And it's got a pink spine. Oh my god, okay, we did it. That was all my pink books. I have a little bit of time to go to the shops. I need to put all these books away. Thank you so much for watching though. I'm sorry if this felt a bit rushed, but I really wanted to be able to get this filmed so that I wasn't missing a video slot. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Please let me know what colour you would be interested in seeing next. Please don't say blue, because I have so many blue books. So many. I have quite a lot of red as well. Green would be great. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry that I've probably spoken super fast, but also you're probably used to that on my channel by now because I am aware I talk very fast. Please also comment anything you like down below and subscribe to see more of my face on your feed. If you wanted to support me in any other way, I do have a Patreon where there's various different tiers and things offered there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Keep smiling and stay positive.